the Antisocial Network.
Yeah. Mask up, stay 6 feet apart.
Yeah, right.
Hello.
Hello, good to see you.
Thank you, gentle listeners, for joining us on Yeah Aha. We are talking with Lisa, Phil, and Aaron. Unfortunately, Aaron couldn't make it.
But an update, I just got word that he touched down in Portland. So
good. So he got safe to his destination.
Friend,
he's going to Portland. He's got a new job, and he's going to be, I guess, indoctrinated. I don't know why he had to go to Portland, but because it's an online job normally.
Yeah.
But that's what life is like.
But we're grateful that he's made a safe trip because it was treacherous because of the snowstorm in the Pinot Mountains this weekend. He had 20 inches of snow to deal with to get off the mountain. And he went to Burbank Airport. And so we're grateful that our friend is safely in Portland now. But we're talking to Greig Watts, who is the founder and operator of DWB Publishing. He's runs a mentorship program. He is the advocate for a number of young artists who have hopes and dreams in the music industry and work through things like Eurovision to realize their lifelong dream of success in the music business. So welcome, Greig.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Oh, and I wanted to mention that we are on the Antisocial Network.
There you go.
So thanks, Rob.
Got the plug in there. Yeah. Rob might be listening, actually. He might be lurking in the back studio here right now. But so you wrote a book recently.
Yes.
And the name of the book is Keeping the Dream Alive. And it's about just what we just mentioned, advocating and promoting young artists when in a very, very tough environment for musicians these days. So you want to tell us a little bit about the book?
Yeah, so it's Keeping the Dream Alive. It's the longest title in history, but I wanted to get it all in. A Songwriter's Guide to Overcoming Rejection, Finding Success, and Enjoying the Journey Along the Way. I really wanted the last part because I think that's, for me, is one of the most important parts. Is people strive for success and fame, and they forget that actually you want to enjoy the journey as you go, and life is important to actually enjoy these moments. So with the book, I guess it's two parts, really. It's kind of a semi-autobiography of how I got into the music business. And then it tells the story of, it basically shares the advice to songwriters and becomes a songwriter's guide through my stories and through my experiences. So I've written it for that. As I said, I started it during COVID, as I think many book writers did. And, because I wanted to leave a legacy and things like that. And then I started a mentorship, and it kind of grew into, okay, let's finish this and put it all together as one. And I wanted to tell my story as well.
So one thing stood out early on in the book. There's a picture of a report card that you got early on, where it said, what was the
something like Greg plods along nicely in class without any interest, or something like that.
Right. Something that was designed almost to crush your spirit and send you off on a career in banking or something.
Yeah, which is what it did.
Yeah. But so was that a catalyst? Was that a motivator? Was that like you saw this and it was like, all right, well, I'm going to show this this teacher what I can do?
I just think not that particular one. I think there's another story in the book where the teacher ridiculed me in front of the classroom, and I then went, okay, I'm going to show you. That's that point. I think the report card, it was just a passing comment. She didn't really know who I was. That was it. But that didn't make me think, oh, I'll show you. I just wasn't that. I was interested in music, but I wasn't interested in school theoretical music that they were trying to teach us. I was interested in pop music, and writing songs. So it didn't really bother me what she said, because I always believed that I would get there. And I had the school, I don't know what you call it, careers advisor. They also said, what do you want to do? And I would be like, I'm going to be music songwriter and also work in the music business or run my own business. And several times they said, no, what do you really want to do? And I kind of replied, well, at the moment I'm selling records in the in the playground. So I was running a business and I'm writing my own songs. So there's an element of, I didn't really take anything the teachers said. I just got on with it and carried on, which is, again, why I think the keeping the dream alive is I am someone that just keeps going. There has been hard times. There has been sort of nearly giving up moments. But in a sense, that didn't stop me that little bit. It was more, or make me go, right, I'm going to show them. I think the bigger moment later where I was, say, ridiculed by a teacher, that definitely spurred me on.
Right.
Yeah.
That reminds me of, what was that movie with the jazz teacher?
The one where he was basically kind of flogging them verbally.
Yeah.
I can't remember.
I can't remember. But yeah, I mean, when they dress down.
Start J.K. Rowling, I think. Or not
Yes.
J.K. Rowling,
J.K. Simmons.
Yeah, Simmons.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Every time I go and do a public speaking in Taiwan or Liverpool or anything, I always think of that teacher. Think of the teacher who put me down and think, okay, well, I'm here public speaking. So yeah.
Right. So what? Let me find. Gosh, that's going to bother me if I don't.
Did you have an
Whiplash?
encouraging
Whiplash.
mentor?
I was thinking, oh, it's a Metallica song. It's Enter Sandman. It's what about? No, it's Whiplash.
Whiplash. Okay. Cool.
Did you have a mentor that actually did encourage you at any point, or did you have to fight alone?
I think people like my mum really believed in me. And again, in the book, there's one part in the book that later on I actually did a Christmas show. And I went and asked another music teacher. I wasn't doing music study by this point, but I knew there was a new music teacher and he had put in a recording studio. We hadn't had that when I was doing it before. And I went in and said, can I use your recording studio? And over the next 5 or 6 weeks after school, he allowed me to do it. And we made a version of Strawberry Fields, partly because the Beatles had done it and I just heard about the Beatles, and partly because there was a cover version at the time. But now I look back, he was a real mentor type person that, again, didn't have to do that, but he just let me come in and he taught me how to record. And he was a music teacher, but I wasn't in his class. He was doing it after school. So
That's amazing.
Really, you can see the difference between two teachers where one isn't interested and one is interested. And I think that's just changed. He changed my career and my life in a sense.
That's fantastic. I mean, you think about the cost it would be to rent out a studio or to try to do that on your own, and then to have somebody actually provide that to you. What a gift that was! Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
But we look back now, and that was, as you say, life changing. So
yeah,
really.
So I could be wrong, but I think you're somewhere in the ball. I won't reveal ages or anything, but I think you're kind of contemporaries of ours. But did you kind of grow up in the 80s, exposed to?
I don't mind saying I'm 51 because I had a 50th birthday last year.
Great. I'm still the oldest. I'm 59.
I grew. So you're a few ahead of us. Yes, I grew up in the 80s. So I was, was my I think everyone's got a magical music period where they suddenly discover it and it's really exciting. I think mine was 1983 to 85. Still love music afterwards and before, but if I play the songs from that era, that's the ones where I get really excited and I get inspired in a sense.
Right. Well, Aaron and I grew up in the 80s also. We weren't quite as big of fans of the music at the time, the contemporary music of the time. We were sort of like still kind of stuck in the 70s with our musical tastes. But a lot of, and I think that it was just so different when MTV came along and all of a sudden the visuals and the music became one and the same. And a lot of our favorite artists kind of dropped out. Christopher Cross talked about this in a Yacht Rock video on HBO or documentary, that once you had to become a movie star in addition to the musician, that sort of eliminated
a few people.
A few people, right?
Yeah.
So we kind of had disdain for it at the time. We like our Bad Company. We like our Led Zeppelin. We like Boston and all these guys. But over time, I feel like that music that we actually grew up with is, first of all, the best of it has lasted, right?
Yeah.
So it's not flooded with a bunch of wannabes and a bunch of copycat type stuff. A lot of the best of it has survived, so it's aged better than we really engaged in it when we were younger. But
I would say my period is MTV Live Aid.
Live Aid,
that period is that change music. I think both of those events. So
actually, Queen performance in particular, is just absolutely taken on a life of its own, and they're even bigger in England than they are here.
Brian May lives in my village, actually, where the studio is. So we've done a song.
Have you ever met it? Oh, cool.
I haven't met him, but my partner Pete has done a song with him recently. A song with an artist that he also played on. So it was interesting. That was a interesting moment and tick of one of the magic dreams. So.
Well, isn't he an astrophysicist or something?
I believe he is. I keep seeing his Instagram, and he's going off and talking about that.
Yeah, he's.
I mean, most of Queen were genius, and not just genius musicians, but very, very clever guys. So,
right. We love Queen for sure. That's like one of our favorites for sure. But go ahead, please. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Did you? Okay. Now, for me, I've always dreamed, I suppose, of being like support, like if I were to go for a music career, I would have wanted to be like a studio musician.
Yeah.
And I'd want to be a respected studio musician or a character actor where you remember the person, they're great, but you don't know their name. And that's kind of what I would want to do. But did you ever dream of mega stardom?
I did at the very beginning. And there was a moment. So what I did was I was writing songs and I was kind of forming my own acts. So I thought, well, I always had a business brain as well. So I was writing songs and I think, how do I sell the songs? And the best way to sell the songs was kind of create a band or create an act. So I'd create these little acts and send them into record companies. And my dream at that point was to be an artist and songwriter. But later on, I got offered a record deal. And it was very close to, I just met my first wife. And they were asking me to go out to Japan, and I just sort of had all these things where I was like, exactly what you said. I'm not a front. I can sing. I'm a songwriter who can sing.
I cannot.
Yeah, but when you want to be a front person, you have to really want to be a front person artist. And I was like, no, I'm always. I kept and still even the story when I did when I recorded Strawberry Fields, my friend was going to be the singer. And when he came in, he couldn't sing, so I did it. And when we did the act, we had a girl singer and me in the background. And when they trained us to sing, she got the sack, basically, and I got pushed forward to the front. So I was good at it, but I wasn't a front man like Mick Jagger. You
didn't want that badly enough.
Yeah, and I learned, no, that's not what I want. I want to be I want to be behind the scenes, writing songs, and actually a lot of it is looking after people. Now I know later on in my life, I'm a developer. So I don't need that front acclaim where I'm the most famous. I accept my love is when I see others excel that I've developed. So I've got a girls football team. They're under 18s now, so they're women. But we played this morning. One of the best feelings I've had. We won, but I saw them all perform at the highest level. And it's like, this is a team I've developed. These are people I've developed. And that is the best feeling for me.
That's interesting. So it's not so much living in the moment. Like if you're the lead singer of a rock band, you probably live for that live moment where the crowd is just like feeding your energy. Yours is more of a slow burn, more of a creative satisfaction.
Yeah, I think live in a way that you have to. I wanted to write and record and make music that lasted forever, but I didn't necessarily want to perform it. I think, again, if you're the artist, you love the performance part. I was very shy, actually, as a kid, and that's partly in the book and things. I had to overcome this shyness. I'm very happy to go and talk at conferences now, but there's two subjects, songwriting and football. So if you ask me to talk about something else, I might struggle in a sense. So I think, again, as also I did learn to play a character. which is a bit like going on stage, but I don't want to do it forever. It's
Yeah.
fine.
We're kind of adjusting on the football front. Because I'm assuming that the football you're talking about is
Soccer.
not the same as
No.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
We do have a football team.
Yeah.
We have 3 teams. We have 2 football teams and a baseball team
Yeah.
that are all we've got the FCC, which is soccer. Then we've got the Bengals, which is rumored to be football.
American football. Call it American.
And then we have, and then of course we have the Cincinnati Reds.
Yeah.
Well, the Bengals are actually there's a faction of English a fan base for the Bengals that I never knew about until they had them on the radio one day. But there is some momentum for American football in England, but nowhere near the world interest in soccer for sure.
No, and I think because soccer has been so big in England for 120 years that nothing can move it really. It's the big thing here.
Right.
I mean, we have cricket, but it's just not in the same realm in a sense.
Well, with FC, you can see some of those European elements kind of getting into the culture here because they talk about the pitch at the our team is a MLS team now, and they do some fan base does some for lack of a better word events where they like pep rallies and things like that where they'd have fight songs and stuff like that. It's kind of cool. Brings an international element to the city that wasn't there before. But you talk about the brutal truth about the music business. I forget where I saw that quote. It might have been in your bio, but what is the brutal truth about the music business?
I think so I'm working with songwriters. If I refer to songwriters, most songwriters are writing songs and they're sort of having this, they're aiming very high. And I think that's a good thing. I aim high, and it says, I talked about a story in the book about my grandfather saying aim for the moon. But the brutal honesty is the music industry doesn't want you. It's not interested, So you have to find a way in past all the gatekeepers. I think it's the same as any, the film industry doesn't want half of the people that are there trying. But so until you wake up to that fact, until you start to see it as a business rather than songwriting, and I'm hoping, but I get people come to me and they say, I've written a song for Adele. And I'm like, that's nice. So what's the clue in the name singer-songwriter? Adele's a singer-songwriter. She writes her own songs. And you've written a song for Adele. She's not going to take it from you unless it's the absolute winning song that no one else has ever given her, because she has she writes herself. She has an entourage around her. She has loads of amazing but very established songwriters around her. So she's not going to come to me or to the unknown singer-songwriter. However, there is lots of places you can get your songs to. And there is China will have a version of Adele. So why not find the success in all the places, which is what I've done. I've had very big success in lots of places. My dream was to be number one on the Billboard charts, to be number one worldwide, like my idols were in the 80s, George Michael, those sort of are. So they were number one worldwide. I actually have been number one worldwide, but I did it through Japanese artists who were number one for 1 week and then they disappear out of the thing. I've done it for Eurovision's. Had 250 million people watch our songs. So again, as a child, if I thought about how 250 million people watching it, that's my dream. Right. So it has happened, but it's happened not in the way that I imagined. And of course, we now get people come and ask us for songs a lot more because we've had that success. So I guess the brutal honesty is you have to see it that they don't want you. You've got to find your way in.
Right. Right. And people tend to find, like, not only the record executives, people tend to find reasons not to, accept your art that are arbitrary or political, or, sometimes you talk about it taking hold in Japan because they're just beholding the art itself. They're not associating it with anything or, anything at all other than the virtue of the music itself. And that's really a testament to the quality of the music,
Well, and you look at how Justin Bieber became famous. In a sense, YouTube And Instagram could, in theory, be the Eurovision of America.
Yeah.
You know,
Good.
and in a sense.
I
I mean,
I'm
not exactly.
I don't know exactly how he got. Well, from memory, I mean, he was in the Disney, wasn't it? The
YouTube.
Disney,
No,
like
Justin Bieber.
no, not Justin Bieber. Sorry, that was Timberlake, wasn't it? Sorry.
You think it?
Yeah,
Yeah, Timberlake. Now, Timberlake was in the industry. He was acting. He was on Disney. He was in the stratosphere from the beginning. What I'm talking about is undiscovered. Justin Bieber did an original song on YouTube, and it caught on. Somebody saw it, and that's a lot of being in the right place at the right time. You know, being persistent.
Yeah, and we have that in the UK and artists as well, where it's TikTok as well. Okay. Artists blowing up because they've had loads of views on TikTok. So instead of them doing gigs after gigs after gigs, they're every day posting content on TikTok. Right. And actually, it's not always the song. It's they'll do something funny with the song, you know, and that then takes off and it goes viral. And so I think it has changed. You know, in a way, the record industry is still run by people up here that are making decisions, but you can get in through those different places like that. Happy accidents, in a sense. So yeah, I always tell our artists, get on TikTok, get on Instagram, get your followers, because you never know one of your lucky moments comes up. Right. Same as I'd go back to Adele. So in my day, it was X Factor was on the telly. I don't think again you had X Factor. You had Pop Idol.
We have X Factor. We had it. Yeah.
So we had Pop Idol here, and Pop Idol went very quickly. X Factor came and took over, whereas Simon Cowell and Simon Fuller did a bit of a deal to keep American Idol going, an Idol. So, but Adele was doing quite well, and then there was a moment on X Factor where she'd done a song called "Make You Feel My Love." I think it was an old Leonard Cohen song or something like that. Was it "Make You Feel My Love"? And on X Factor at boot camp, about 5 of the artists sang that song, and that song went back up the charts because TV and music magic happened together. There was a really emotional moments as well whilst that song was being played, and the next thing you knew, Adele's next song was even bigger, and her next song. So there was a magical moment that happened to change her career. Same as we've got a story. Travis. I don't know. Have you heard of the band called Travis? Have they reached America?
Not me.
I've not.
Yeah.
We're not on the bleeding edge of music.
I mean, you know,
No. Well, big band in the UK.
You'll note we have a record player.
Yeah. Me too. Me too.
The LP is it's long play.
Yeah.
Lisa Phillip.
Yeah. No, but Travis, they were quite big in the UK then. But they had a song bottom end of the charts, and it was called "Why Does It Always Rain on Me." They then played Glastonbury. You've heard of Glastonbury, and what it's a very big concert. You know, you've got thousands and thousands of people there, open air concert. And what happened? It rained. So that moment where it rained during that song,
cool.
Suddenly you saw the charts happen. So sometimes these things happen and people's career changed.
Right.
Kismet.
Wham, George Michael. If you go back, I remember watching something recently where I think it was Wham. There was someone going to be on Top of the Pops, which is the big UK TV show, and they pulled out. And Wham said, "You need to come on and do this." So I can't remember. It's someone big. And that moment they were on Top of the Pops. Their song was from 38 to number 3 because suddenly they had the TV audience.
Right. That does make a difference.
But it was only
because a point in time.
It's only because someone pulled out. You know, so they got lucky with that in a sense. And I think those points, everyone's got those in their career where they suddenly have this, whoosh, the door opens and you walk in. So, but you've got to be in the right place for that to happen as well. So.
Right.
It gives you appreciation for life, to that type of kismet. You know, when you look at it, you're like, wow, that did not happen. Where would I be today? You know? Yeah. It's amazing.
And it might be the difference between, the person that can help you move your career forward, with having a great day.
Yeah.
Or a bad day.
Yeah. You could go into the office on the wrong day. Yeah.
Right.
The meeting. So.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, so there's a plethora of tools available to young musicians today, whether it's like Pro Tools for, Mac, or whether it's being able to self-publish your music to Amazon and Spotify, or, collaborations, digital collaborations. But how, that's all well and good. And I hear a lot of quality stuff that is not really gaining hold. So how does someone really start getting compensated for their work?
Again, it depends what field they're trying to do. So if you're an artist, I think gigging is still something that you need to do, plus your YouTube and monetizing what you do on YouTube, and all of the your TikTok and various things as well. But being persistent at that. So if you're going to do gigs, you do a lot of gigs. If you do YouTube and you do Instagram, you persistently do it, because it doesn't. When you're on 0 or 1 or 2 viewers, it doesn't make you much. But when you suddenly go up into the more, you can make a lot more. But in a sense, the key is, I think, is you've got to connect with other people that are doing it. You have to increase your chances of making it happen. I've known some really, really great and talented songwriters or musicians who sit in their own room and they play the guitar and they're really good. They've got a great song, but they don't know how to put it out somewhere else. So sometimes when you connect with another songwriter who has more of a business brain, so my partner, Pete Barringer, he's a genius, absolute genius songwriter. But he used to say, I'd meet him at the beginning, say, I've written 16 songs today. And I'd be like, really? Okay, show me the songs. And it was, what he meant was 16 ideas. And they were all good ideas, but he needed me to sort of say, let's put the ideas together, let's finish them, let's put them, start trying to find homes for them. So we were a great partnership in that sense, because I needed him for his ideas, he needed me to finish and pitch things out. So you've got to get them out there. You've got to put them, whether that's putting them on Spotify, or me as a songwriter, I'm trying to get them to artists, record labels, managers, go to conferences, go to songwriting camps, trying to connect with other people that can actually, sometimes it's my song and I connect with someone who happens to need my song or knows someone who would need my song. Without those connections, you're just sitting in a room being a really good writer.
Right. I know I write, Philip and I together have written, like, in our heads. We haven't, written the word part. Okay.
Yeah,
I know neither of us is a music person. We're lyric, we're poets in a sense. And mostly what we've written is like parodies, a la Weird Al.
Because we're Weird Al groupies. Yeah.
Well, not groupies, but we are kind of very
devotees.
I could say, I guess, maybe super fans. He and I do share a birth date.
Yeah.
Also, I have Johnny Carson and Dwight Yoakam, and who's the Asian director?
Akira Kurosawa?
No, it's a single name. But that's beside the point.
Yeah.
But yeah, I share a birth date with Weird Al, and I do in my head write parodies.
Yeah, just for fun.
Yeah, we've actually met him. There's a picture right there of us with him.
Yeah.
And it was kind of wasn't the best situation. He had just gotten over COVID, and we had to meet him with a glass wall between him and us.
But it was being in the presence of greatness.
Right. Exactly. It was great.
Right.
We loved it.
Yeah.
But that reminds me
agents.
Well, just
Do you
one
try
second.
to get your songs out to agents?
Let me ask, because it's
okay.
a follow up on your question.
Oh, okay.
I noticed in your writing you talked about as you were starting to evolve into a music, you were taking existing songs and using that as the basis of building your own songs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that correct?
Right at the beginning, I would look at Duran Duran covers, read the lyrics at the back, and sort of take bits of the words, and then I'd rewrite the words completely, but without, I might use wolf or hungry or something but it was taking, because for me, Duran Duran were, if you look at the lyrics, they're always strange. They're always, it doesn't necessarily, I don't know what half the songs mean, but you can take some of those strange words and it makes it quite poetic and quite descriptive rather than plain places. Beatles was similar in lots of their not the early stuff, but their later stuff. There was some weird stuff, so you could take bits of it and sort of rewrite things. But I think that's how you should start. You know, in a way, you have to not you're not stealing. You're sort of taking bits and then going, okay, well, I'll rewrite my thing. Even now, it's how similar to what people do with ChatGPT now or whatever. In a sense, you could feed it information and sort of churns it back to you, and you don't want to go use everything it's given you, but you might say, oh yeah, well, that line's quite good, and I'll put it with my line, and you know, so same as we've done with something called Masterwriter for many years. So
I feel like for schooling, I know that AI and GTB is frowned upon, but I think that if I were trying to write like significant papers, what I might do is have, you know, ChatGPT create the create a platform, if you will, for me to work from.
For an outline.
Because I do well in two ways. One, I come up with the idea, but I have trouble putting it forth. Yeah. Right. I'm ADHD, very ADHD in that respect. My other thing is when someone else has an idea and creates a structure, I can make it better.
Yeah.
Okay. Flat out, I make it better. Okay. I mean, with my job, one of the things we do is we create comments for the doctors.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that I do. I make those comments. I make the comments that are going out to the doctors better. And like when they created the comments in the system, they told us, the workers, to stop sending comments and to only use the ones, you know, but the ones that they put in the system were exactly what I had created. Oh. So it was kind of like,
Right.
They literally just copied my comments word for word after telling me not to put comments in.
Yeah, take that, Doc.
You know, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Say, well, what was your question about producers?
Oh, no, agents.
Agents.
Our agents. You mentioned like producers and artists and things like that.
Yeah.
But how do agents come to play in that? I like to ask that question because my nephew went to school with the idea of becoming an agent.
Okay. It depends what so here we would, a publisher, we would say, so someone's going to sell your songs, it'd be a publisher or a manager. Agents, in some ways, it's, you know, they sell you as artists, but it's just a different name. So yes, we definitely I use anyone who can sell better than me. If this person, if, you know, let's Justin Bieber, and if I can't get to Justin Bieber, but there's someone I know that can, I'll use them, and we can do a deal. In lots of places, I'm best at, you know, in Eurovision, I'm probably one of the best there is at Eurovision, or on K-pop, I'm one of that, but I can't get to certain places. So I will use and work with anyone I can. Use sounds wrong. I will work with or partner with people that can help sell our music. And I think that's key. Our success in Japan, because I have a partner in Japan. You know, my success in Korea, we have a partner in Korea, because it's those markets you need to, and the different cultures, so you need to learn how to use them. So someone who can help sell stuff there is really important.
Yeah, I think this is a good moment, Phil, for the philosophical question of the podcast.
Well, okay, so this is a new feature. This is meant to be a somewhat wild and out of left field question that makes you go before you might answer. So
okay, I'll have a think.
All right.
So a little bit.
It's
not too bad.
When we landed on the moon, the astronauts listened to "Fly Me to the Moon" by Frank Sinatra. So this was back in 1969. When we land a man on Mars, I'm going to take Bowie out of the equation because that's the most obvious.
Kind of too obvious, yeah.
Yeah. What will be the theme for the astronauts who land on Mars?
Gosh, if it was me, I don't know. What would be the theme? That is a question.
Good. That's what we wanted. Exactly what we wanted.
We used to ask how many bathrooms are there on the Death Star.
But that was our one-hit wonder. We need to switch it up a little bit.
Yeah. that
I don't
question.
know.
and a lot of people-
What's the answer to that question? How many bathrooms are there?
The favorite answer is 0. All you have to do is go past Darth Vader, and he just,
Kills you off. Yeah.
yeah, he cleans you up.
Well, they had those. I remember in Star Wars they had those. It wasn't on a Death Star, was it? Remember they were when they saved Leia. They all went into this garbage thing and got crushed, didn't they? So,
Right. Yeah. I remember that.
Mars.
Yeah.
What would be the song?
A
for
song for
Mars?
landing on
Put me
Mars.
on the spot here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I think taking Bowie out of it was kind of mean.
yeah, that's mean. But
That was
we actually one thing that's come to mind. We had a song in England. Maybe it didn't reach America. Probably it was in probably when I was 15, 16, and it was by a group called Mars, and it was called "Pump Up the Volume." Did that
Oh,
reach?
yeah, that song came
I
here.
did. Yeah, I remember
Pump
that.
up the volume, pump it. So that was maybe that would be a good one for the landing on Mars, because it's just popped into my head that they were called that. Whether that's actually a good idea, but I could, pump up the volume because we need to hear it loud, basically, because they're a long way away. So,
I like it because in essence we're pumping up the volume on the space program by advancing it to the Martian landing. But I asked myself the same question just so I could, and I came up with One Step Beyond, but that's
Madness.
Yeah, because I know you were a fan of Madness, so I was guessing maybe he would answer that, but that's a good answer.
No, I didn't. No. I mean, I'm a big fan of orchestral maneuvers in the dark as well. And their early stuff was it's like Kraftwerk, very space orientated.
Oh yeah, Kraftwerk. Yeah. That's on our Aaron's Audio Audible list to do. I've heard that album all the way through. It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
Album.
Oh, see, now I like orchestral movers in the dark, so I might actually like that album. We do something called Aaron's Audio Audibles, and the main thing about it is that it needs to be an album, and what we do is we listen to the whole album.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we rank our favorite songs, and we do a little blurb about why that's our favorite song. And on the album, and it's not that any of the songs are bad necessarily. It's just which one did we like the best. And if you listen to the album 3 times, which you're supposed to, then sometimes your favorite changes. Well,
it's kind of like Desert Island Discs,
right?
Isn't that a famous British program? Desert Island Discs.
You take which songs would you take with you?
Right.
And I certainly think my favorite albums from when I was younger, which I still listen to now, often my favorite songs have definitely changed. I don't know. Again, there's an artist called Howard Jones. He was one of my big inspirations. He was very synthesized based, and I used to love his up tempo music. But now I like I still love it. But there's some ballads where you're actually like, oh. I think it's because I get them now because I'm older and I'm nearer his age, whereas when you're younger, the up tempo really makes you move and that sort of stuff.
Right. Yeah. Now I still prefer songs with music with movement, but and part of that is my ADHD. There are literally some songs that the song starts to play, and I have this visceral.
Yeah, you got to get out.
Turn it off. Turn it off.
All right.
It's kind of, I've had the same reaction, to people chewing with their mouth open as to some songs, literally. And it's a brain reaction. I'm aware of that. It's called misophonia, which I hate the name.
Because I call it Lisaphonia.
Yeah.
Well, no, because it's phone.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I've done a lot of work in the last few years. I've done a lot of work with songwriters, obviously always. I would say 50%, 60% are ADHD on the spectrum of autism. And it's because they've got creative brains. And in a way, we've been, as creative people, I'm saying we, because it's all in my family as well. But we've been put in a box at school. And we've been told to conform, and actually the truth is we didn't fit in that box. And I think we should have been in creative places, and that's why that teacher didn't recognize me, because I was doing other stuff. She wanted me to do the formal stuff. So there's an element of, it's quite interesting when you start to see someone with ADHD and then see them in a songwriting session and think, okay, if you can channel that, it's really powerful. It's actually, I see it as a superpower once you can channel that, in a sense.
And I think that's one of the reasons why I want to be in the middle. I'm kind of hiding in the middle.
Yeah.
I want to be the best of the middle.
Yeah.
I want to be number one in the middle, but I don't want to go. I put my own glass ceiling up and I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm going to be retiring in 3 years. And in 3 years, I want to do something else. And I'm trying to kind of find things. But like one of the things that I was somewhat excited about was
voiceover work.
Yeah, voiceover work, reading books, things like that. But now AI is kind of slipping in there. So I kind of wonder if I would,
But it's unfortunate.
But so I'm looking at other things that I might do because I do want to do something,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm only going to be 62 when I retire.
You need to keep your mind your mind will be active, so you've got to keep,
and you can only devote so much to cleaning the house.
Yeah.
Remember, you had this question about mentorship. Because mentorship.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Let's mention
one of the
that we're talking
is
to Greig
I
Watts.
had early. Oh yes, we're talking to
Greig Watts.
How do you pronounce your first name?
Greg.
Greg. Yeah. Okay, just Greg.
Keeping
it's
the dream
Greg
alive.
with an I. Greig. I tried to look you up and I couldn't find you at all.
No.
And I finally put in the title of the book, and that's how I found out your name was spelled
with an I.
Uniquely.
Yeah, and if you search it with the I, you find me all over the place. Yeah.
Right.
And there's a story in the book about why my parents put the I in, which it wasn't anything to be unique, but it was they didn't want to call me Gregory. They didn't want people calling me Gregory, but actually everyone called me Gregory or Greig. So
Greig. I would have guessed Greig, I guess.
Yeah, Craig Greig.
Yeah, it's the Scottish surname. So you'll find there's a lot of people called Bob Greig, Tony Greig. It's a Scottish version of the so they've used that as my first name. So.
Sweet. All right.
So are you mostly Scottish or?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Okay.
So English. I think I've got a little bit of I remember my grandfather saying there's a little bit of Irish, but pretty English.
Yeah.
Although the English, we're partly Norwegian, and that's what we.
Right.
Vikings.
We are predominantly German, English, Welsh.
Yeah.
Well,
and a little. I have. I'm English. I'm German, Welsh with a little bit of English, and some Irish. And he is mostly. What was it?
Mostly English. I'm mostly English. Yes.
Right.
I actually have some Norwegian in me, like because I did the
test,
DNA test.
Right. Yeah. But I mean, we're both blue-eyed brunettes.
Yeah.
And we've been out somewhere, and people thought we were brother and sister.
Yeah.
Right.
Because pale skin, blue eyes, brown hair. And in the world, blue-eyed brunettes are like 1 in 500.
And also because there seems to be no limits on the depravity that Americans will reach these days.
I don't know what that means.
No.
But in our area, Cincinnati, Ohio, and its environs, blue-eyed brunettes are more it's in the world, they're 1 in 1,000.
Yeah.
In this area, it's more like 1 in 500.
All right, Lee. So you got this wonderful question.
Sorry.
Alan, or not Alan.
Okay.
Greg.
As a child, I received some early music education. And my mother even put us into extra classes after school. And I did not do well. I was left-handed with ADHD.
Yeah.
Shocking that I didn't do well. Plus, I'm not moved by music, really. I was never. I like music, I was more like if she put me in drama, I think I'd have done really, really well.
Yeah.
You know, so I would never have wanted a music career, but the music teacher called my mom in and basically said, yeah, it's hopeless. I I have been tested, and I actually am tone deaf, uh, or at least I test tone deaf,
Yeah.
whatever that means. And I'm not upset about it in any way. I never wanted music. That was more my brother probably
Yeah.
would have done better if we could have stayed in those classes.
Yeah.
But we tried we tried different instruments, and we even tried the trumpet because you could get she had a left-handed trumpet. And then we tried the accordion. And I think the thing that kept me back was my complete lack of interest.
Hmm.
Okay. I didn't want that.
Yeah.
So my question is, how do you handle a situation when a student is just not a fit? Like, okay, maybe their parents wanted you to mentor them and they're like, you know what, this is what they want. Kind of that thing. Or someone who's it's have you ever had to tell someone this might not be for you?
Um,
Mhm.
have I? Probably. No, I don't think so. I tend not to work. I mean, there's one at the moment where I'm working with like a 14, 15-year-old who's super talented. And
Mhm.
sometimes you have to look, is it the parents pushing or is it?
Right.
And actually, they are pushing, but she is absolutely wanting to do it. So I
Mhm.
would say I probably wouldn't do mentoring with someone in a subject that isn't interested.
Right.
Again, goes same with the football, same with the songwriting. If a girl's coming along to the football and isn't really want to be there, I can tell pretty quick.
Right.
So, and I would say to the parent, is this really what she should be doing in the sense? Because I think I'm very much a believer in strengths and weaknesses.
Mhm.
I'm also a believer in if you're interested, you will excel. And again, this comes from in my experience with the ADHD and autism. When people are interested, they fly.
Mhm.
There was a survey they did with teachers recently, and they asked the teachers to name the 10 worst pupils in that they teach. And then they said, okay, for 2 weeks, say to that child something every day, but don't make it about school. Just make it personal. And at the end of the 2 weeks, they said, well, who's your worst people now? And they actually said those 10 mostly have come up and they're now the most interesting. And they then asked the kids and said, why is that the case? And the kids were basically, they're interested in me. So I think there is a
Yeah.
two-way thing. You
Yeah.
have to find out in
Mhm.
mentorship, why am I mentoring this person? Do they want to do it? If they do want to do it, then great, we'll go to town. If they don't, then you'll come up against it. It's like trying to coach someone, and I think you could do it for money, but actually that's
Mhm.
not my thing. I would much prefer to coach people who really want to be coached.
Mhm.
And actually, if you don't want to be coached in that, it's because you'll have an interest somewhere else.
Yeah.
In a sense, so you're better being coached in the interest because then you'll develop quickly.
Right. I've actually thought about maybe trying to find and join a local improv group because I think I would be really good at that.
I agree. I think you'd be great
Mhm.
at that. All right.
Mhm.
So we've reached that point where we're either going to be able to fit in our Elite 8 mini bracket or we're not.
Okay.
So Greg, are you still up for the challenge?
I'm perfectly up for any challenge. Yeah.
All right. So we've selected pop music that made MTV famous. These are maybe not, Michael Jackson's Thriller or something like that, but these are songs that definitely made it onto the radar and into the rotation at MTV and heavily played. So they also kind of fit the profile of some of your favorite bands, I think. So Lisa, do you want to be the MC for this?
Sure.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
Okay. Pop music that made MTV famous or was made famous by MTV. Madness, Our House versus Thomas Dolby, Blinded Me with Science.
So, and you want me to take 1 hour to choose one to keep?
Yeah.
Oh, on the basis of my favorite or what made it? What made it?
This is all about
It's all subjective.
It's all
It
it's
could be
completely
any criteria.
right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I would say Our House by Madness because I remember it very well. Blinded
Okay.
by Science, I can't quite remember. I remember a couple of other. I remember Hyperactive, very, very much.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
Okay. Lisa Stansfield.
Wait.
Oh,
You
sorry.
got to vote.
Oh, yeah. Okay. You know what? I remember both very well. I like both very well. What was your vote?
I didn't vote yet, but
Oh.
I'll go ahead and I'll make it a tie.
Thank
I'll
you.
go Blinding Me with Science because I think that
Okay.
there's MTV Europe and there's MTV. I think
Mhm.
Blinding Me with Science was on all the time. all
Yeah,
the
I'm
time.
not sure our house was, but it's just my favorite.
But I remember our house very well.
Okay. So you gotta break the tie.
You know, but Blinded Me with Science had more energy. Our house had more depth.
Yeah.
So the question is, am I going with energy or depth? And to be true to myself,
Energy.
I have to go with energy.
Yes. Yeah.
So Blinded Me with Science. Okay.
I think he's still active too. He's coming to Cincinnati at some point.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Ooh,
Yeah.
I would be interested.
Yeah. That'd be pretty
Watch
cool.
if you remember the video to Hyperactive. Again, ADHD. You watch
Yeah.
that, and he's explaining that in a sense without labeling it that at that point. So.
Right. Okay. Lisa Stansfield, Never Gonna Give You Up, versus Kim Wilde, Kids in America.
I don't remember Lisa Stansfield Never Gonna Give Up, but I definitely remember Kim Wilde, Kids in America. And I met her the other day, and we wrote a song for her, so I'm definitely going for Kim Wilde.
Oh, wow.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Nice.
Yes.
Robert Plant is a huge fan. Kim Wilde.
Yeah.
Lisa?
Yeah, Kim Wilde, Kids in America.
Okay. Just to be contrarian, I'm going to go with Lisa Stansfield, but it wasn't quite as, it didn't blow up like, just to throw
Isn't there another version of Never Gonna Give You Up that a man sings?
Probably.
Rick Astley.
Yes.
Written by a good, no, not written, but produced by a good friend of mine. Yeah, very good version.
Yeah. Yeah, I like Rick Astley. I like his music. Lisa Stansfield, I don't really remember very well.
Well, I kind of had a little crush on her.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So here we go.
Herbie Hancock, Axel F, versus Europe's The Final Countdown.
Axel F was Harold Faltermeyer, wasn't it?
You're right. I saw that.
That's a tough one because Axel F was one of the first ones I learned on the keyboard, and Final Countdown was probably the second one I learned on the keyboard.
Okay, let us vote first then.
Yes, you vote first.
Okay, yeah. I'm going to go with Final Countdown because I don't remember the other one at all. Okay.
Did you remember the Crazy Frog version of Axel F? No.
I remember that phrase. That's the proper way to say that. That's a phrase.
Yeah, riff phrase. It was in Beverly Hills Cop, wasn't it?
Right.
Okay. Oh, right. He said that. And I still like the Final Countdown better.
That's why I thought this was a good matchup. First of all, they appeared in
both of them are in movies.
Materials as songs that were influential. Yeah. Also, they were used in movies and TV. So I'm going to tie it up to make it Axel F, so that Greig has to make the decision.
Yes.
You're evil. Yeah. Evil you are.
I'm going to go for Axel F as well. Only just. The Harold Faltermeyer version, not the Crazy Frog version.
Okay, I'm going last on the next one because I recognize neither of the songs.
All right.
So I probably would if I heard them, but I tend to listen to music. I hear it, but I don't, Right. I don't know who did it. I don't know. Philip was trying to say, do you remember this song by Madness? I'm like,
no.
I mean, I did.
Yeah.
Our House, I remembered. Blinded Me with Science, I remembered. Kids in America, I remembered. Never Gonna Give You Up. But I didn't remember the Lisa Stansfield version.
No.
I didn't know that the title to the song from, Axel F. I didn't know.
Yeah. You'd hear it and go, I know that.
Right. Mm-hmm. I'd heard the Final Countdown, I think, in a movie, right. But the last one is Howard Jones' No One Is to Blame versus the Psychedelic Furs' Love My Way. And I would have to actually hear these songs to,
Who's going first?
I'll go first. Man, I'm gonna go with "Love My Way," just because it was a very early kind of LGBTQ anthem, and that it's become very important. I mean, it's important then, but it was
Even more important now, especially in America.
right.
Mm-hmm. And aren't you glad you're not on our political show?
And I genuinely like the song. I genuinely like the song. So which one?
Okay. Would you mind going next?
I can go next. I would definitely say "No One Is to Blame." It has, for me, it has massive memory triggers. I remember hearing him explain the story about it, and it's one of my favorites. So
Okay.
I'm actually leaning towards "No One Is to Blame" as well, for this reason. One of my little catchphrases is "That's not my fault."
Yeah.
You know, like when Philip says this show is boring, I'll say that's not my fault.
All right.
Just this, kind of humor thing.
If you look at the lyrics on "No One Is to Blame," it's so clever.
Yeah.
Here we go. The final four. Please.
Okay. Blinded Me with Science versus Kids in America.
Who do you want to go? Who's going first?
You go first, Lisa.
I'll go first. I'm going to go with Blinded Me with Science. Kids in America is very energetic too, but I feel like it's a little too specific.
Yeah. I'm going to go with, since I'm a Led Zeppelin fan and Robert Plant's a fan, I'm going to go with Kids in America.
Okay.
Leave it up to Greig again.
Kids in America for me.
They're evil.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just remember Kim Wilde at that age of 6 or 7,
Yeah.
One of the crushes, definitely.
Yeah.
Axel F versus No One Is to Blame.
Ooh.
So it gets tougher as we go along here.
Yeah, that is tough. Again, energy versus.
Mm-hmm.
Who's first?
Yeah.
I guess I'll go first. I'm going to go with No One Is to Blame. Even though I do feel like Axel F kind of helped to make the movie, I'm going to go with No One Is to Blame.
All right. You want Greig? Okay. No One Is to Blame versus Axel. I'm going to go with Axel F. Not just to be a contrarian and to put Greig on the spot again, but I love Beverly Hills Cop. I just, I really love that melody.
Yeah.
It brings up a lot of memories.
Oof, I'd say this is hard because No One Is to Blame is very triggering. But I have to say, Axel F for me is one of the songs, probably the song that I was playing in that class where that teacher said, Greig has no interest.
Oh, okay.
And actually, it was the one I learned, and everyone was like, Greig can play the guitar. So I'd say Axel F has to.
So it's kind of a seminal
I
song.
think you just weren't interested in structure.
No, I was interested in
the structure that they wanted to force you into.
All right,
box.
here we go. We got less than 2 minutes.
Kids in America versus Axel F. I'm going to go Axel F.
Greig?
Yep. Greig?
Axel F.
Axel F wins. It doesn't matter what I think, but I'll give Kim Wilde a vote just in interest of schoolboy crushes.
Yes.
So Axel F wins.
Yes.
All right.
Schoolboy crushes, I'd go for Kim as well, but I'm going for Axel F.
Yeah. As a school girl crush, I guess I really wasn't in school, but Nelson.
There you go. All right, we got less than a minute.
The
Greig,
band
where can we find you online?
Online, so the book Keeping the Dream Alive is on Amazon. I'm on Facebook, just Greig Watts, GreigWatts, or Instagram, dwbmusicgroup.com. Email greigdwb@me.com. Anyone wants to get in touch and send songs or know about mentorship, then you can do. But read the books tells you all. So.
All right, man, it's been fun. I knew it would be.
Thank you.
You have a good rest of your day.
Thank you very much. Great to meet you.
You too.